Greetings. Welcome to my Lost voice impressions video. I didn't lose the voice impressions, it is impressions of the show Lost. It's going to be a bit longer because the show is extremely long, it's 6 seasons, so I wanted to do it justice and do all the characters, so here we are. And I hope you like it. It's not all perfect, but it's pretty good, I think, so enjoy.
Backgammon is the oldest game in the world. Archaeologists found sets when they excavated the ruins of ancient Mesopotamia. 5,000 years old. That's older than Jesus Christ. Their dice were made of bones. 2 players, 2 sides. One is light, one is dark. You see this little hole? This moth's just about to emerge. It's in there right now, struggling. It's digging its way through the thick hide of the cocoon. I could help it. Take my knife, gently widen the opening, and the moth would be free. But it would be too weak to survive. Struggle is nature's way of strengthening it. Now, this is the second time you've asked me for your drugs back. Ask me again, and it's yours.
Well, fear's sort of an odd thing. When I was in residency, my first solo procedure was a spinal surgery on a 16-year-old kid, a girl. And at the end, after 13 hours, I was closing her up, and I accidentally ripped her dural sac, shredded the base of the spine where all the nerves come together, membrane as thin as tissue, and so it ripped open, and the nerves just spilled out of her like angel hair pasta, spinal fluid flowing out of her, and the terror was just so crazy, so real. And I knew I had to deal with it. So I just made a choice. I'd let the fear in, let it take over, let it do its thing, but only for 5 seconds. That's all I was going to give it.
Last week, most of us were strangers. But we're all here now. And God knows how long we're going to be here. But if we can't live together, we're going to die alone.
Okay, that thing in the woods? Maybe it's a monster. Maybe it's a pissed off giraffe. I don't know. The fact that no one is even looking for us, yeah, that's weird, but I just go along with it because I'm along for the ride. Good old fun time Hurley. Well, guess what? Now, I want some freaking answers.
Ain't that just like a woman? She keeps the house, you get the cheap-ass apartment. Man, I thought these people hated me, but I gotta hand it to you. Stealing a baby, trying to drown it, now that's a new low. You even made Locke take a swing at you. Hell, that's like getting Gandhi to beat his kids.
I've worse things to fear than what's in the jungle. What I did today, what I almost did, I swore to do never again. If I can't keep that promise, I have no right to be here. We did find your balloon, Henry Gale. Exactly how you described it. We also found the grave you described, your wife's grave. The grave you said you dug with your own bare hands. It was all there. Your whole story, your alibi, it was true. But still, I did not believe it to be true. So I dug up that grave and found that there was not a woman inside. There was a man. A man named Henry Gale.
Trust him. No offense, mate, but if there was one person on this island I would put my absolute faith in to save us all, it would be John Locke.
I'm sorry. I must have confused it with the 900 trillion I am worth myself. And this baby's made of chocolate lollipops. So if you excuse us, I'm going to flap my wings and fly off this island.
You know, when I used to get high, I'd watch nature programs on the Beeb. Polar bears are meant to be quite clever. Very clever. They're like the Einsteins of the bear community.
Since the day you told me you wanted on this raft, I couldn't figure it out. Why does a guy who only cares about himself want to save everyone else? Yeah, the way I see it, there's only 2 choices. You're either a hero, or you want to die.
We've all been through a trauma. The only difference is that since the crash, you've actually given yourself a pedicure. Hate to break it to you, but the ocean is not going to take your gold card.
I ask for no forgiveness, Father, for I have not sinned. I have only done what I needed to do to survive. A small boy once asked me if I was a bad man. If I could answer him now, I would tell him that when I was a young boy, I killed a man to save my brother's life. I am not sorry for this. I am proud of this. I did not ask for the life that I was given, but it was given nonetheless. And with it, I did my best.
I'm gonna blow the dam, John. I'm sorry for whatever happened that made you stop believing, but it's all real. And now I've got to go and make it all go away.
When I saw the lightning hit the roof, you were electrocuted. And when you heard Claire was in the water, you drowned trying to save her. I dove in myself so you never went in. I tried, brother. I've tried twice to save you. But the universe has a way of course correcting, and I can't stop it forever. I'm sorry. I'm sorry because no matter what I try to do, you're gonna die, Charlie. See you in another life, brother.
Tell me, you go over to a man's house for the first time. Do you take off your shoes? Do you put your feet up on his coffee table? Do you walk in the kitchen, eat food that doesn't belong to you, open the door to rooms you got no business opening? You know, somebody a whole lot smarter than anybody here once said, since the dawn of our species, man has been blessed with curiosity. You know the other one about curiosity, don't you, Jack? This is not your island. This is our island. And the only reason you're living on it is because we let you live on it. You bring her here. If you don't, I'm gonna kill one of them. And then if you don't bring her back before sundown tomorrow, I'll kill another. And another. And another. One every day. And Charlie, I'll kill you last.
Of course, if I was one of them, these people that you seem to think are your enemies, what would I do? Well, there'd be no balloon, so I'd draw a map to a real secluded place, like a cave or some underbrush. Good place for a trap. An ambush. And when your friends got there, a bunch of my people would be waiting for them. And then they'd use them to trade for me. I guess it's a good thing I'm not one of them, huh? Those things had to happen to me. And that was my destiny. But you'll understand soon enough that there are consequences to being chosen. Because destiny, John, is a fickle bitch. Let me ask you something, Juliet. You took a woman, your own sister, whose reproductive system was ravaged by chemotherapy, who was sterile, and you made her pregnant. You created life where life wasn't supposed to be. That's a gift, Juliet. You have a gift. Now don't you feel you're meant to do something significant with it? Where we're going, you can do just that.
I have a son who's about your age. He's not like me. He does what's in his heart. He's a good man, maybe a great one. Right now, he thinks that I hate him. He thinks I feel betrayed by him. But what I really feel is gratitude and pride because of what he did to me, what he did for me. It took more courage than I have. There's a payphone over here. I could pick it up and I could call my son. I could tell him about all this. I could tell him that I love him. One simple phone call and I could fix everything.
Do not attempt to use the computer for anything else other than the entry of the code. This is its only function. The isolation that tends to be associated with Station 3 may tempt you to try and utilize the computer for communication with the outside world. This is strictly forbidden. Attempting to use the computer in this manner will compromise the integrity of the project, and worse, it could lead to another incident.
You know those nuts that think the moon landing was faked? Well, this is like that, only real. That's why I signed up for this trip, because the owner of this boat believes me. Charles Widmore. He believes that 815 is still out there somewhere. I mean, can you imagine what would happen if we found some of those people alive?
Once Ben turned that wheel, time isn't a straight line for us anymore. Our experiences in the past and the future occurred before these experiences right now. Has it occurred to any of you that your buddy's actually going to cause the thing he's trying to prevent? Perhaps that little nuke is the incident. So maybe the best thing to do is nothing? I'm glad you all thought this through.
Well, we can't just sell out on any course. For us to leave, I need to calculate a new bearing. And to do that, I need to determine where we are now in time. You can't change the past. Can't do it. Whatever happened, happened. All right? But then I finally realized I had been spending so much time focused on the constants that I forgot about the variables. And you know what the variables in these equations are, Jack? Us. We are the variables. People. We think, we reason, we make choices, we have free will. We can change our destiny.